The night lay waste to all we'd given, but honestly, you've gotta know that this ain't living. But we could run from Elysium and let it burn, let it burn. You've gotta know that nothing lasts forever. I can't believe myself. I never thought that this would be our end, but it's nothing new. And my lover's honesty, I can push it back down if I have to, if you want me to. 'Cause we can run, and we can run. The stars they fall all for you. So tell me now, what's left to lose if we run?
I feel like I fought all my life for this. This one part, this 1/3 I've always missed. No, just don't let it go. I started the fight, but now I'm losing. So will I fall again? I'm scared of heights, yet it was me who ran away.
me inside. I need help, oh please give me back this one pub, this one food. I'm sorry I lost it.
No, I let my weapons fall. I'm drowning in the fears, and now I know that I will fall again and let it go, but I can't stop to run away.
from beneath the sand. Please don't take me, girls seem so far away. Across this universe, she lives another day. I know the reason she's hate. I know the reason she's so far away. I know the reason she's hate. I know the reason she's so far away. She's so far away.
Give me reasons to doubt, try to keep me down, but I'll put the flame out, you can't get to me. Throw your sticks and your stones, go break all of my bones. You won't ache my soul, you can't get to me. And there is no barricade that I can tear away. Shoot me down to fire away, away. But I'm a heavyweight, I'm a heavyweight. to the ground. What goes around comes around. You won't put the flame out, you can't get to me. Say what you wanna say, go take it all away, but I'm here to stay. No, you can't get to me. And there is no barricade that I can tear away. Shoot me down, but fire away, away. But I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. But I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a
Take us live, count us down.
Welcome, this is Division Gaming Network, and
We are live with our
We are
first
live.
game of
Indeed-o.
hopefully 3 tonight here, and it is going to be Mad Like Wizards going up against BlackLions here. Now, BlackLions, I guess you can call them a bit of a black horse. I don't know as much about them as I should. I know a
Don't
few
either.
individual players there, and Mad Like Wizards is another one of those teams that they have not been together for too long from what I can gather, but they do actually have quite a few star players from various other organizations
oh
that
yeah.
were victim to the OCE shuffle.
Now,
So, what are your thoughts on this game here? I'm definitely keen to see how Aiden is doing in a new team. If he's, found himself comfortable in that AWPing role
Yeah, well,
once again.
Aiden was from Trident originally, I do believe,
He
and
was,
fell prey
he
to
was
that
the main
shuffle.
for Trident over there.
So that is what I want to be seeing here from him, is big AWP shots at the start of the round. Like, for a player like that, and to have Chris there to back him up. A player like Aiden, he really should be hitting those aggressive shots nearly every single time.
That's what I think it's going to come down to, is whether or not yet he's able to get that support from members of the team, such as Chris and Numkey, able to actually back him up and give him that confidence to take that AWP and be very aggressive with it.
Oh yeah. Now, I know Clowny is the IGL for BlackLions, so a lot of it's going to come down to his calling as well. I know it's the AWPer and IGL, so that's a bit of a hard role to play, but we'll see how he manages to pull it off. Now, 2 counter-terrorists have been hit down low. One's at 14, one's at 8. This is a very bad situation here for the counter-terrorists. 2 of their players, like, 1 bullet to death, and it looks like the T's have a good idea here, and they're going to push onto this A site through jungle. Bomb's gone by himself. I don't know if that's a mistake or not, but Clowny waiting on the edge of the smoke. Can't get it as Aiden. He actually manages to get one, but it's up to PPL in pit now. Can he get any? And he can't quite hit those shots there, so a lovely read there from Mad Like Wizards.
It's going to be up to Dave and Ranger here, but Ranger's going to go down to Chris almost straight away to the Glock.
Oh.
And Aiden's going to find Dan in library.
Almost
Very
a clean
nice
round.
round there from Mad Like Wizards. Both teams taking it very slow at the beginning, and a good exchange from MLW. I'm going to call them that from now on because it's a lot easier than the mouthful that is Mad Like Wizards.
Like, just call them
MLW
Wizards.
took some very nice shots onto BlackLions that really did soften up both Dan and Clowny, and I think that made that take there a lot easier for them. So We're going to see them force up. I like that Aiden's got the scout here, and we're going to see him go straight up mid with this. He's not going to find too many people peeking, though, only on second round, and on almost, well, not quite a full eco, because Clowny's got himself a UMP there.
And look at the armor across the board here for the counter-terrorists. They've managed to buy pistols as well, so we could see a lot of damage done as that nade doesn't do as much as it should have. The stair blocking a bit of the damage. Need to fix the nades in this game, Valve, as terrorists, after that nade, they're going to hit A. They're going to be playing it very slow, though. They're probably expecting a force buy here. It's going to be down to whether or not Clowny can hit at least one of these shots, and he does. That's the bomb, and it's dropped out in mid, but terrorists, they're pushing all the way through. Clowny knows and is just running away. He should be able to get another one here. Can we see him get another? Oh, they almost line up, but he can't quite hit it as Dan's on the rotate. We got one man in pit, one man on balcony. He does have an AK, actually. He manages to steal that from a terrorist, so...
And the tides have turned for Black Lions, being able to actually take this to a 3v2. But just so that Aiden taking that UMP and pointing it right at Ranger's face. And the plant will go down, even with a man in pit and in apps. And this is a very tight plant here for MLK. But Panic spraying down Dan as he peeks through. It's going to be up to... Ooh, very nicely played by LP there.
So, on that retake situation, there was one man in mini pit over here, over near library, and the man in apps actually had clear vision of him. I'm a bit surprised, considering the planter, he kind of knew was behind that metal box. He didn't just go for the frag onto the man, you know, hiding in mini pit, which he could clearly see. He manages to get that frag onto the man coming out of the library from mini pit, and then obviously the pit player takes him out, but either way, good round there from Black Lions. That is kind of what they needed against a team like MLW. You know, a very, very strong start. madlikewizards taking the pistol, but answering back with a fierce anti-eco, and... not anti-eco, force buy, I should say. That's bad, as we see madlikewizards going for a bit more of an aggressive play here, trying to spot out positions as Strax in the apps. Can't quite get a shot.
With his second AWP there, trying to get a peek around the corner, taking a bit of damage, while Chris also takes a lot of damage over at the B site to that oomph.
Clowny is scared about that gun, which is like obvious. That Deagle is so close to his head.
Clowny looks away just a bit too early, ready for a flash, but Sydney's there to back him up with the FAMAS. Isn't going to be able to get the three-piece before Strax shuts him down.
And Aiden with the Deagle, he goes down on top of balcony. It's up to Strax now on site, and one man in mid. That is Chris. Chris
now.
Ooh, close to a kill there.
Unlucky for MLK there. They got too many taken out trying to take that site when they pushed round to the arch. They just weren't able to actually hold that site. And Aiden, very unlucky there. Came out, was covered from the balcony position, but wasn't able to get the Deagle shot down into the man in pit. We will see now the AWP here on Aiden. I'm definitely switching over to him. We're going to see he's going for that mid-aggressive AWP play. He's not going to be peaked from the left, and I don't think he's going to be peaked from the right. I think knowing that Aiden's going to be open
I was about to say.
will change how the Black Lions play their AWPer. It's going to be interesting to see them contest each other if we do get to see that.
It'll be down Nana. If you're an inferior AWPer, it's as simple as Nana is the safer angle for you to peek. You peek mid and they have a chance of getting there before you. You go Nana if you have one of the two spawns, and you're going to be guaranteed, like, if you're accurate enough to hit that first pick onto the man. And especially with a man like Aiden and his Aiden lore, you don't want to be peeking down mid. Like, you just don't. He will take your head clean off almost every time. He's a very experienced player and he knows how to do that. But as we see now, madlikewizards, they are setting up towards that A site. We've got PP in pit.
And Aiden here is going to be entering from the looks of it if he does go around the corner first. But I think the player in apps might actually be the one who makes the entry here. But no, Aiden's caught on. There's a player on arch side.
Clowny should be calling that there is two players towards A now. They've only seen the two. They haven't seen any more. I'd like to see an early rotate here from the counter terrace, but it's not going to happen as one man goes down on site to Numkey. One man still in pit. He needs to hit this frag, and he does. He hits one. He needs to hit a second. Sprays through the smoke, and he manages to get it. Clowny answers back, and this is a lovely hold.
Definitely wants to put a stop to him, but Chris is going to be the one who does that. It's going to be all up to Aiden now. And he misses a couple of shots, but is able to get one onto Clowny, but not before Ranger does put a stop to him.
So, PPP in pit there, that is what it came down to. Man hitting some crazy shots, and that is what they needed. They needed like one man down minimum, but he manages to get a second before he goes down, allowing the rest of BlackLions to rotate in rather quick. We saw Clowny taking one out in jungle. It was just altogether a lovely hold from BlackLions. As we see going into this next round, we're probably going to see a bit more of a fast strat come out from madlikewizards. A fast push onto a site together. Chris, he is going to be pushing through that smoke. He gets past the counter-terrorist. He knows he's in there and gets him in the head, but...
Sydney's there on truck side to back up Chris. Isn't able to find him, though. Takes out Aiden for the trade instead, but it is going to be around the world, and this could be
the damage dealt,
a dangerous play for MLW here, with 3 players tagged really low, but the B-rotate from Panic comes in, and now Ranger's stuck in construction, but he's going to be able to get a frag onto Numkey. We'll hear the plant go down, but Panic ready for that push after the plant. It's going to be all up to PPP now, and he is going to be pushing through Banana. I think the smartest play here would be to sit on that back Banana and try and get a few exits. Knowing there are 2 low, though, I think we are going to see LPP try and take this site here.
Well, first thing, they don't have armor, and 2 of them are very, very low. So his thought here is that they can't really give away. No, now he goes.
Yeah,
that's a very bad round there for BlackLions. They're going to be shocked next round. Their economy is not going to be good. They're not going to be able to buy smokes, flashes, nades, any of that. Very well played there from madlikewizards. The split came out really good, but what interests me most is that they actually sent 5 players towards A at the beginning of the round. Sorry for slapping my mic. And then, as soon as they get that jungle control, they send the bomb by himself all the way back towards Nana. Because what the counter-terrorists are expecting when you push there is they both go to CT. As we saw that happen, and the amount of damage done by those Tech 9s forces them back to the B site. But Panic was there, ready to clean them up. We see madlikewizards going for another mid-aggression this round, and Aiden, he's waiting at Nana with the AWP. Numsky is going for that entry frag. He wants to get the man. There's one at Arch. He sees him. There's 2 there, actually. He should call out that there's 2, but I don't think they've actually noticed. One man runs into the smoke.
Oh my god, he's on the back of...
And he gets sprayed down through
Clowny noticed that he couldn't move, and it was because of a T. Ranger, not realizing the spray was coming from Strax behind, but Dan realizes and put the stop to Strax in CT. Now it's all up to Aiden, who still hasn't moved from that B site. Very bad round there for MLW. The A push sort of started to go pear-shaped, and they just did not seem to have an exit plan for that.
I think it was also a brilliant read there from BlackLions, knowing if they were so successful last round in that mid to B, they're going to go for it again. Clowny playing the passive, very passive angle, all the way even behind Arch, with the teammate there to back him up from that Arch pillar. And what it meant was, as the T's move in, they see one guy pull back to the left, and then they see one guy peek pillar. They think it's the same man, and Clowny able to just get behind the terrorist in the smoke, blocking him a bit, and just sprays him down through it. I was surprised a bit about Strax getting that far behind. I thought Clowny would have seen him and called it for his teammate, but apparently not, as we saw Rain go down. Now a quick play towards the B site here from madlikewizards. They just want to get a plant, but I don't think they're going to be able to.
The first time we've seen a B site play come out from them, and on your eco round as well.
Mate, auto director is king, as we see. Some of the frags going out there. Ranger gets 2 nice headshots. 3, actually.
Strax at the front of sight with this Deagle, though, doing a lot more damage than he should be, and that's going to leave Numkey all alone in a 1v3 here with just the CZ, and he does clip the top of Pippi's head as he pops around the corner. And that is going to keep Sydney on CT and the other player at back of sight.
He's just seen his shoulder, so he'll call to his teammate where he is, and the terrorist should at the moment actually probably pull back and try and fake one of them to rush him, but
Molotov there with only 55 seconds remaining was, I think, a little bit too early to actually have any true effect on it, and he decided to sort of pull back into CT a bit. Could that have been the right move?
Okay. This is a very tough situation for Numsky, and in that barbecue position, when you got one man CT, one man new box, there's nothing you can do. You're hoping one of them over peaks in a very, very stupid way, and against a team like BlackLions, it's just not going to happen. Like, you'd have Clowny in the background of your headset yelling at you, "Don't peek! Don't peek!" Because they have such an advantage there. There was nothing Numkey could do. Without armor as well, no nades.
So we see an AK buy here, and because Aiden's been buying orbs, he is forced to get himself a Galil now. Low utilities. We only see 2 Molotovs. One on, I believe it was Panic, and the other one on Chris there. Sydney is going to spot out a player in apps.
Now, what I'd like to see come out here from BlackLions, oh my god, as Chris just sprays him through the smoke ring, over peaking that angle, but smoke's in the way. He thought he was safe. Now, this is where BlackLions should just start to really pull back and play completely passive at a 2-2. We do see one counter terrorist just sitting in the spawn almost, waiting for the T's to just push, and madlikewizards, it looks like they're going to go for that arch play again, maybe even the around the world Chris. He gets spotted out there by Clowny. One man pushing through the apps.
It's going to be up
definitely
to
going to be an
here.
8.
He does find the head of Strax, or not quite the head, but he finds the head of Numkey instead. I mean, not before Aiden does put a stop to him. The plant will go down on the A site now, and it is going to be a 3v3 retarget, and will favour BlackLions. They turn it into a 2v2, but not before Aiden equalises onto Sydney there. It's
Clowny
pretty
gets
even as
spotted.
Aiden spraying through the smoke like it just doesn't even exist, finds Clowny's head. I think that will force Dan either back down mid or nah, just straight in through truck, my friend.
Oh, pretty far on the wrong angle.
Oh, getting a bit overwhelmed there, I think. Didn't quite know whether he should go for it or fall back, and he is going to fall back.
See, Aiden grabbed the orb off of Clowny's dead, cold hands. What happened there was when Aiden peeks, Clowny's holding a sneaky angle in the smoke, hoping he can catch one out off guard, but Aiden sees his foot through the corner of the smoke and just sprays him down through. It wasn't much he could do there.
So we will see MLW take another round now, 3-5. So we're definitely seeing Aiden is definitely comfortable in that AWPing position, and he is getting the support that he needs from his teammates. Almost always Numkey or Panic are there to back him up, and if it's not one of them, it's Strax or Chris. Seems to be Numkey or Panic are the ones that are actually playing more than anything with Aiden, though.
Now, what was
And
interesting...
this could be a dangerous B push as Panic finds Dan, but not before Dan softens up Panic and Ranger finishes the kill there. Numkey almost gets caught out by Sydney, but luckily looked back at the right time.
Sydney should have had that frag as the force buy goes terribly wrong here for BlackLions. Oh, as I say that.
Nice shot onto Strax there.
This is
Putting
where
that
he needs to get the
use.
he needs to get the frags here, but the Molotov is going to force him out into the open. It's just going to Ranger should save. He should not go for this, but I think he's going to, knowing 2 are on the site. And he goes down to Chris. Bad round there for BlackLions. They're going to have... Oh, actually, no.
More than
I
anything,
take that
was a
back.
great round there for MLW. They were able to finally take a pretty clean round. I think only they lost, what was it, 1? Only losing 2 that round. Definitely what they needed before they bring it back up to the equalizer.
So I thought BlackLions wouldn't be able to buy this round, but apparently they are able to.
No,
After
they've had
2 rounds
a
of
pretty
win-loss.
good economy, and they haven't had to rebuy that much each round, so... It is a bit of a struggle buy, so we're in Famous Town here.
Yeah,
3 Famous across
I
the board.
don't know if that
Ooh, Aiden.
MLW is going to know. Oh, what is that, dude? How do you hit that shot?
Missing one on the right side behind the pillar, but then almost getting Clowny on the left side. I don't think he'll be playing that angle for a while now, Clowny. Tagged all the way down to 8.
Now what's interesting is how BlackLions play a very, very passive rotate up until a certain point, and then madlikewizards have caught on to it, I think. They've worked out that they don't rotate that player till late, till the smokes go down, and once they've gone down... Black Lions are playing a very good setup here. It's nice to see them not over-rotate or overreact to any sort of play from Mad Like Wizards. They know they like their fakes as they push onto this B site. Now, one man's in New Box, one man's at Coils. The Coils man, he gets one. He can't hit a second, but the man at New Box, he has not peaked. And he does now. He manages to get one. Dan, can he get another here? Looks away at the wrong time, but Clowny sprays through smoke.
With the famous spray through the smoke in CT, it is now a 2v1. Aiden with the AWP here is going to be able to get the plant. Should know that there's a man in. Oh, this is the man I'm talking about. But LPP just a bit too quick there with the jump off the railing. Is able to get the AK shots onto Aiden at the back of sight.
So, I mean, honestly, it's a lovely shot there from Aiden. His AWPing is what we expected it to be. Some of the quickest shots I've seen.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad to see that through the OCE shuffle. You know, sometimes you take a AWPer out of the team that they're used to, that they're comfortable with, that they know how to play off, that they know I've always got that player who plays like this, who's there to support me. Bringing them into a new team, especially one that, from what I can tell, is other players from other teams put together. Usually it takes a lot longer to get that cohesion and that teamwork that they actually seem to have already. And it's really good to see that Aiden may now have another environment and a team that he can flourish in as what I regard one of Australia's best AWPers.
I'd like to see Clowny call for an aggressive push on that B site, or even just the players on the B site. Do a bit of an aggressive push, maybe even a 3-man stack, because start around MLW, they are actually leaving that site alone and only pushing up after about 30 seconds. It's an opportunity for a quick frag and a runaway, but of course that stuff can always go terribly wrong, and Aiden playing this very passive here, really not peeking at all.
Nah, I've seen that that's almost his standard holding spot when he goes for a rifle. He'll always come down into Mexican or down into mid, and he seems to be the one that either peeks these corners first and entries on his non-AWPing rounds, or is just there to back up the flash entry player. It's definitely good to see him being used in a more versatility than just AWPing, because a lot of AWPers only get used as an AWP, and when they don't have that AWP in their hands for those maybe 2 or 3 rounds while they're recoing, it can sometimes cause issues. They might not be able to rifle as well as they can, but it definitely seems that when he does pick that rifle up, that they've got a plan for it. But LPP's got a plan as well. It involves taking out Chris and Numkey on Shruck, leaving it all up to Aiden, who also gets taken out, but not before Strax puts a stop to him. And then Sydney takes out Strax, and Ranger will clear out the round by taking out Panic.
So one thing that I've noticed is Mad Like Wizards are losing the rounds they try and go for picks, and winning the rounds they go for those either fakes or quick plays. And
yep.
Black Lions aren't able to react when they do those quick plays in a way that shuts them down instantly. I think we're going to see another quick play here come out from Mad Like Wizards. I could be biting my tongue, but
I definitely don't want to see them only playing aggressive plays on their eco rounds, because yes, usually aggressive plays on your eco are a lot more beneficial. You can actually get more kills and take the round sometimes, but we clearly see that their aggressiveness is what has been winning them even those rifle rounds. And I don't think that they've only won, I think, 2 rifles, and the other 2 were ecos or pistols. And I think we're going to see a third here, because losing Chris on the way into the site and taking that much damage, Numkey is just going to be sneezed on by Dan.
Gets 2. That's a lovely double frag from him. And can he hit another? Yes, he can. Can he hit a 4th? Yes, he can.
He takes
ace!
an 8.
Wow!
Takes an
lovely
ace.
round there from Dan against it wasn't even an eco. They had armor on 3 players, and they also had Deagles and Tech 9. So very well played from him.
That was a bit of a force up there, and that's it's gonna cause MLW now to P250 by with a single smoke and flash on Numkey. Now, I definitely want to see a much faster execute. They are going to smoke mid here, and if anything, that should be a mid smoke for a mid push. But that nade taking down Aiden, Numkey, and Chris, and the Molotov just tearing through the rest. We don't have a single T with full health.
They need us. Clowny, he needs to start hitting those shots as he misses 2 and he goes down because of it, but his teammates there to just mop up The entire team, and we should see them save that orb. So, missing 3 shots there, Clowny. It's hard when you're being rushed down by an entire enemy team to remain calm and hit the shots, but man, you have to. Otherwise, that's what happens, and you just go down. It's not too big of a kill.
Luckily, he did have
but
backup from his teammates there, but that could have gone a lot differently for Black Lions there. So it's definitely interesting. This game is really fitting into. Here we go, Aiden in the mid area.
He's so quick. Clowny's holding that angle and he's got it pre-aimed and everything, but Aiden, he just shoulder peeks into it and takes him out.
Showing us that mid-aggressiveness that hopefully will take another round here for MLW. They do have the man advantage.
Pushing on to this ace site now. They have 1 man on site to deal with, 1 man in pit again, and Strax, he gets tagged down low, but Panic, he's on the rotate. He's going to catch one from behind and he takes him out. It's up to the man in pit. Can he get a single frag here?
Oh,
yes, he can. He gets 1.
Smoke.
And he gets 2. That's huge. That is huge. Dan, he is in a position to win this, but I guarantee you, Aiden's watching this library. No, he's not. That's
Aiden
surprising.
in a moment. He's getting himself up into the apps here.
I think he did spot
hasn't
him.
been able to transition. He did spot him out though, and there goes Dan to Aiden's orb.
So, just seeing his, like, it would have been maybe even a pixel of his shoulder there when he crossed, and not re-peeking that, Aiden, doing a great job. That round came down to that first pick and the very slow rotate from Black Lions. They sent their second B player to A once terrorists have mid-control, not
and
before.
by the time he got to A, there was a smoke on library. Aiden couldn't see it, but he knew there were shots coming through the door. Takes the shot, nails him through the smoke. It's the game sense that this guy has as well is just outstanding.
I want to see a lot more big performances from Dan, because he's been hitting some nice shots here, and I think maybe he should be the one to be rotating, not Ranger, just at this current point in time. But Aiden, he goes for a spam through the smoke again, not able to hit it. Teammates follow through though, after he flashes him in, and that's a... oh, excuse me, that is a lovely execute there, but Clowny, he's in library. And he gets taken down by Panic. They're doing the same thing when they take this A site, and Black Lions have fallen for it twice now, but PPL, he's always been in that pit and has always given them issues.
And Aiden does know that he should be down there, but Panic spots him out before Aiden can. Aiden should catch one out here when he does peek around this arch side. I think he will be waiting for backup and some utilities to come out.
Oh man, you got this shot, Ranger.
You see the smoke go.
You see him.
Aiden sees the top of his head, isn't able to hit it. Goes for the tech through the box.
Yeah, that angle there, I was waiting for that. That was just good positioning there from madlikewizards as they end the half 6-9 to Black Lions. I mean, that is a good half for Black Lions. A lovely half. But madlikewizards, I feel like they could have done a bit better. There was a couple of the rounds where they slowed down a bit too much, trying to get a read on Black Lions, but...
yeah, very interesting half here. So, both teams are on level and in the same league here at ESEA, but I'm being told, I believe MLW was one of the teams that was awarded a...
CGI invite.
CGI,
Yeah.
and I'm being told that Black Lions are a CGA team. So, again, almost 2 nights in a row, we've seen an outstanding performance from a CGA team up against a CGI team, which, with the way the divisions are now structured, is the second best division in Australia, underneath, you know...
I can indeed confirm Black Lions are CGA.
Yep, so, you know, this has been happening a lot, not only in the ESEA season, but I expect it to happen a lot during the CGA season. We're seeing CGA teams, people that we're having a lot of trouble finding information on, come out and have these outstanding performances against, you know, some previous Div 1, Div 2 players that are now Division 2 CGI teams. And it's really interesting seeing that gap and also trying to analyze what actually it is that Black Lions is doing correctly that's winning them the rounds, or what is MLW doing wrong that is losing them rounds.
Actually, I cannot find Black Lions in CGA, so I'll have to look that up, definitely, because it doesn't make much of a difference, because I think Black Lions are a new team coming into this, so of course they're not going to be in the higher divisions. madlikewizards being a new team as well, but with the known
Having such a
players...
pool of
Oh,
well
yeah.
respected and older players, I believe that they were able to, you know, that they do want the CG divisions to not be just teams creaming other teams. So
Yeah.
I believe CGI is the correct placing for them, but you know, it brings into question, should the division maybe be bigger to accommodate these other teams?
Oh,
And
Panic!
see-
I've seen
Ooh.
that from him before. He is an amazing pistol player as he gets one, gets two, can't hit the third, but I tell you, man, all the one-taps from madlikewizards, that is a dominating round. They didn't need to rotate from their teammates, they just tapped them all to death.
Now I understand why we were being told to keep an eye on Panic right there.
Oh yeah, he is, his pistol game is on point. Those taps were lovely, man. And that's one thing I do want to see a lot more.
I mean, honestly, I think we will see him go huge. He's already 14-13, so he's really slugging it for the team right now. So if MLW win, I expect him to at least possibly even drop a 30 bomb.
the
Aiden
collateral
tagging
there.
2 there with the scout. Isn't
Yeah, we
going to
get
be
it.
able to get a follow-up, but he's going to tag another one down.
Chris from behind with the Pro 90 manages to get one. Panic in Library. They only spotted... Oh, wow. He's able to shoulder peek that corner so the terrorists don't see him, but spraying through smoke. Strax gets one, and now it's up to Panic to get the man. Take that back.
just
Chris
comes up
takes
with
him
a
out.
P90 and takes out the other.
So, as Panic peeks Library there, he shoulder peeks it. 2 terrorists don't see him, but the other one does. And he stays. And gets shredded for it. Lovely work here from MLW. Their rotates are really damn quick. That's one thing I've noticed already about them. Even if BlackLions are on an eco, if we see one P250 and full blocks across the board, they need to do a bit of damage towards MLW here.
But MLW with the nade stack down mid, taking Sydney down to 33 and LPP down to
Good
69.
beat there.
But Sydney responding by taking out Aiden. That actually makes that tag worth it in the scheme of things there.
So P250 on Sydney so far paying off. I mean, what is it? $300 per pistol kill?
300, I believe, for the PT, yeah.
So paying for the gun itself. Let's see if he can get another one and double his money. Now,
Right now, the smartest thing would be to have LPP and Sydney entry as the lower players. But that's not how it's going to be, because Chris here with the P90
this gun's just dirty, man.
is just going to deny them sight single-handedly with a bit of backup from Panic there.
You gotta
Oh.
feel so bad as BlackLions, man. Like, I get it's a weapon to be used in the game, but on an eco, that P90 is basically more powerful than an Negev. Like, it is actually more powerful than an Negev. It's more powerful than an AWP when they're on an eco. without armor.
BlackLions definitely struggling here on the T side. We saw them take such a commanding lead to begin with on CT before MLW were able to somewhat catch up to them, and now here we are 4 rounds into the second half, and MLW have been able to equalize.
So, I'd like to see BlackLions here do a bit of a... As they
Ranger.
as they have done, is go slow, but they got taken out doing that. 2 players now down on BlackLions' side, and Chris sticking with that P90, Numkey's sticking with the damn Themis. If BlackLions lose this, the economy is going to be very bad for them. They will get 4-round win-loss bonus, which means they'll probably be able to buy up next round. But it's not going to be easy for them. It really isn't, as we see. The fake is probably going to end up coming out here from BlackLions. Is fake towards A or fake towards B? I believe it's going to be an A fake. Clowny not quite knowing what he wants to do. Moving up with the bomb now. Aiden is holding that jungle, but it's not going to matter because all terrorists now, they're in Nana and they're going for this push. It's up to Chris with this P90 as the flash comes in from his teammate, but we saw how devastating this was before. This gun from this angle in particular.
Please, Chris.
The angle, you just need to spray at their chest and it hits them in the head there.
I think we are seeing Chris finally throw that dirty P90 away now, and he will take the AK that he earned off the dead corpse instead. MLW are finally in the lead, 10-9 now. BlackLions in a really bad position here. On an eco, need to try and equalize it. I think what we need to see here is a fast execute on a site that is not B. B site has not been working for them. A team of individual players of this higher skill, I do not think that what they are continuously trying to throw at that B site is going to work. You're just going to have Chris sit around that corner with a P90. And I think we're going to see a fast A-take here come in, but Strax with the oomph, and Numkey comes up to the side with the famous, collects himself a 3k. Oh,
This
Black
is
Lions just thoroughly struggling in the
this
T
is the
side
hold.
here.
This is the hold of simply a more experienced team.
Yep, and you
And
know
that's-
this has been brought up many a times with a map, especially like Inferno. We've seen some teams really come away with their CT side score almost double digits or double digits, and then be demolished when it switches over. And I think it's coming down to, you do have an easier job on CT as compared to T side. You just have to wait for them to push, and that's when the individual player skill of the aim duel comes down. Most of the MLW players should be able to individually out-aim the Black Lions players, and when they've got to come to you, and Aiden gets to do things like that.
So that peak there from Dan, they are worried at the moment. You can tell by the way they're moving around the map. They are not comfortable. Okay, Mad Like Wizards is controlling this half at the moment, and there's nothing Black can do about it. It's coming down, as I said, to a more experienced team on the CT side being able to read the opponent better, because T side it's hard to read counter terrorists. They can be holding so far back that you don't even like smell them. Like, you can't even sense them. That's how far away they are. And as CT, it's so much easier to get a read on your opponent. You know, you go for a quick shoulder peek and you see two guys. You know, now they've got two guys there. Where are the other two going to be? And, you know, they've got to be close to them. It's really easy to read an enemy team from CT side. As we see now, the terrorists, they are pushing up towards this B site. So let's see what
Chris
they can do
here, though, in the position he's been with that P90 with an AK this time, isn't going to be as effective. As Ranger finds himself a nice two-piece. One of them might be a teammate, though, and that may actually change this game for Black Lions here and cost them the round, unfortunately.
I think that may have cost them the game, because next round they're not going to be able to have a comfortable buy here. I'd like to see them get the AWP out on Clowny, but it just seems like Aiden would wreck him if it did
Clowny
happen.
needs to save. It's as simple as that. And, yeah, we are going to see him be able to save that AK. That was a very painful round there for Black Lions. Panicking a little bit too much at front of sight, trying to get that kill on Chris as fast as possible. Ended up spraying through a teammate instead. Just
Now,
very unfortunate timing there.
the worst thing is that they had control of that site. There was one man rotating through con, but the position that the two terrorists were in, they would have easily had control of the site. Aiden gets a lovely frag there onto Clowny. As I say, I'd like to see him use the AWP, but he'll probably get wrecked. He gets wrecked, and now Sydney down to 20 HP, hiding in that log's position at the moment. Mad Like Wizards is just toying with him and taking him out wherever they go, no matter what. It's coming down to almost just individual performance here from Mad Like Wizards, not even a good crossfire setup.
No, that's what I mean. CT side. Oh, Aiden.
How did he
Aiden on
hit
the
that?
outside again. Not only hits
I didn't even
Ranger,
see him hit
but
that.
I'm pretty sure that tagged Sydney as well. And here we go, close AWPing. Isn't able to get the follow-up kill onto Dan, but I'm pretty sure his teammate will have, seen that peek around to the outside, and Strax will clean up there.
I didn't even see Aiden hit
I know.
that shot. Like, he gets flashed, flicks somewhere towards the left-hand side, and takes him out. Like, crazy shot.
The reason why we saw Black Lions lead away on their CT half was exactly like I said. Now, when you're a CT, you get multiple Ts coming towards you, and this is where MLW can straight out aim and outplay the Ts. Whereas previously, when you're going towards a site as a T, usually there'll always be a CT or another one to trade you out for the kill, and it doesn't so much work like that on T side. You can sometimes trade out for a kill, but that's provided that the other CT peaks. You need to kill that first CT to get that second peak, and at the moment they're not even able to get that first kill, which means that once the first kill comes out from Aiden, the peak from Panic comes in, and he's able to collect another 1 or 2 kills, and then that just, it almost closes out the round right there for MLW and ensures the win, because even if it's a 4v3, it's Aiden, Panic, Numkey, and Chris up against, it could be a team of 5 still, and we're going to see the same outcome. Now,
One
I
thing...
think that's a tactical pause there from Black Lions.
Oh, definitely.
What do you think they were doing just then that they really need to do now on this eco round?
I'd like to see them go second mid to balcony and everyone goes out apps. They've been playing pit, they've been playing passive sight, but as we see, madlikewizards are waiting for it. And what is that? How does he hit these? Over and over again, and the spray down here from Numkey does huge amounts of damage. Aiden gets another. Can he get third? One man's pushing in library behind him. He knows he is, and he gets one. Can't hit the second, though.
Oh my...
That's ridiculous, dude. That should not happen. How does he hit him through the fucking wall in the head while he's jumping?
So, that was through the top of the wall as well.
Oh my god.
My friend, very well played.
I've got to say, as well, the lineup from Numkey there, the angle to hold. He can see Arch and just...
That angle backing up Aiden in library for once they pushed him, which they knew he would. Now, 14-9, Black Lions have a rifle by, but this is going to be their last. This is their last hurrah. And
I'm not being mean to Black Lions here, but the way madlikewizards are playing on this CT side... How did that miss? He tags Aiden somehow with an AWP for 67 damage, but doesn't kill him.
I think Aiden tagged Ranger down to 66 as well, or that may have been someone else.
Maybe AWPs just became scouts for this round, or deagles.
Yeah, try jumping with that, Aiden.
Seriously though, that shot looks on for Clowny. I just can't help but feel bad for Black Lions at the moment. They're not... It's not that they're not trying and they're not doing the right thing. It's just madlikewizards are hitting some of the most insane shots I've seen in a long time. And
yep, MLW seem to be struggling.
That flash peek.
In the first half, catching up to Black Lions, but now that they've definitely seemed to be able to gain that momentum and just stampede past Black Lions. 14-9. No. Black Lions have yet to get around this half.
Wow, nice shot there from Numkey. He manages to take one down as they push one man's in graveyard. How did Sydney not hit him with that first bullet? But Aiden in Guardian's position. For once, Clowny beats Aiden with the AWP.
You've got to be jumping in with joy right now,
mate,
screaming, I killed him!
Huge!
I did it!
That's gotta hurt. And the bomb goes down as well. In Diggity side is gonna Molotov it off and pull back. This is smart play here from the counter-terrorist, from Chris in particular. He knows he's got to go for that bomb, but...
You want to show that you can compete? Well, unfortunately, Panic's going to make sure that you can't.
Oh, mate, that...
15-9. Match point for MLW.
So look at Panic at the moment. Look at his frags, man.
No. What did I say? Okay? If he can get an ace this round, that's 29. I said if they win and they actually start taking rounds, he'd drop a 30 bomb. I'd be one round off if he can ace this round. But Panic going huge for his team there. Aiden on 19 frags. Make that 20 frags.
So, Black Lions, honestly, 16-9 is a respectable scoreline at the moment, considering who they're
against
versing.
a CGI team, when you're a CGA, you need to be happy with that. You need to be able to realise that that means that, yes, you might be able to actually take rounds off a CGI team.
I don't think you ever see him miss a shot, man.
Nah.
Like, anyone from that CGI team, their individual performance is just bigger and better.
Catches out Numkey, and the round has gone in Black Lions' favour, and it looks like, I think, if they were to play B here, I think Strax would save it, or he'd actually... try it simply because it's match point already.
It's not just that. The last couple of rounds, the amount of hype this man is on right now, he's going to go for it. There's no reason why he didn't. Look at that. He peeks stairs. He's got an AWP. He has an AWP, people. Yeah, and so he peeks stairs with a CZ. That is how...
trying to slowly clear out the various ways to the A site. I just wonder if he's going to know now that it's not the A site. Is he going to rotate to B?
He will. No, he'll go for this. As I said, the amount of, like, hype that's in this team at the moment.
Yep.
And that's
Look at that
lovely
smoke thrown from Arch
I love
side.
that one. Now, this is going to be devastating.
If I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Should have
Kobe!
them long enough. Oh, my God, Strax. Are you actually going to do this?
He is. He's going to clutch it. There's one man in dark, and it's kind of the most obvious position. He's going to Molotov it out.
Go 10-15. Come on.
Oh, but Dan gets a shot.
Thank you, Dan.
I should have known it's Dan. Like, Dan, man. I think he's the most consistent player at the moment on Black Lions. He's hitting the shots nearly every time, but I was afraid there. I was so afraid. Strax, he could have easily done that with that Kobe to come in, and...
We might not be seeing the best performance from Dan here. He is only on 13 kills, but he has died the least amount of times. 16 deaths, and that's the least amount of deaths on his team. So he is staying alive the most. Whenever they have one around, he's usually the man that's still up, as we saw just then. Black Lions will take it to 10-15. And now MLW are going to be forced to actually put a stop to this train that is Black Lions, and the man to do that's going to be Aiden, shutting down Sydney and Apps.
At the moment, it feels a bit like Panic, Aiden, and Chris versus Black Lions.
Yep, that's why I said those three. Aiden having the support of Strax and Numkey down there on truck side.
I was about to say...
It's all that he needs to clear his mind and
Yeah.
completely focus on AWPing. And it's something that he lacked occasionally within Trident, and it seems like they've made sure he's got here. So
Well, the thing is Numkey, he's not your star player, but he sets himself up in positions to do massive amounts of damage. And I think that's kind of what they've centered him around, is purely to be the damage man. Maybe not the frag man.
He's the impact player.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. He's not there to entry, he's not there to get kills. He's there to support, to set up, and be in the right place at the right time, which Strax seems to be the one that might be in the right place at the right time here to take this to 16-10 for Black Lions. But LPP isn't having a bar of that. Galil's him from sight.
We could see Numkey go very, very large here as Aiden. He is there to back him up, but it's gonna be up to how Black Lions decide to play this. They have one man on top of...
Ooh.
Wow, what a shot there from Numkey. Can he get a second? Aiden's there to back him up. One man at Nubox. Misses a shot. I think that's the first one in the game because he hits a second insane flick shot now.
Switches to the M4.
We could see him
Knows
easily
where
clutch.
he is.
And
Pre-fires
well done
as he
again.
jumps round, but is not able to get the kill. We will see them go to
Mate.
11-15.
PPP, 24 kills. Dan, he's only on 14, but it feels like he's dragging him through the mud at the moment. PPP, he's got a solid performance. He is the entry fragger and is hitting those shots almost every time on that B site.
And MLW are forced to eco here. P250, CZ, and Deegs on Panic and Aiden. Aiden in mid with that D. Goes for the shot, but then pulls back straight away. Isn't going to re-peek it. Is going to play the apps instead there. And this could be the right position to play. Oh, he does take some damage there from the bottom of mid. I want to see him get a nice D down there because of that sticker. My other AWP is a Deagle. But here, Ranger slipping through the smoke gets caught out by Numkey with a CZ, pardon me. God.
So Black Lions, they're surrounding themselves at the moment. It's a boa constrictor here from Mad Like Wizards. There's Chris. He's hiding in the corner. He gets peeked though. He gets one.
No,
Can he get a
Chris,
second? No, he can't. That was lovely though. He manages to get one after
Chris
he gets
doing
shoulder
too
peeked.
much
but-
damage, and look at the rotate. Already 3 players from CT are going to be on that site. I don't think Black Lions are expecting 3 on site. The smokes come down for CT, smoke goes down for construction. One of them
Clowny.
would have been spotted.
Oh
Oh,
no. No, the one dig from Panic and the tap from Clowny just before they get in. This is dire.
Oh,
Dan.
this is- I believe this will be GG. As we can see Dan pull some magic out of the bag here.
Mate, he's got to drag him through the mud again. He got to drag him. 1v4. Horrid
Dan.
situation.
Know
Bombs
that
got
they'll pick
down.
one at a time.
He's tagged and
Oh,
there
there we go. There we go.
16-11. I mean, not a bad
16-11.
scoreline.
Respectable score. Unfortunately, they were only able to get 2 rounds in that second half on the T side. And,
Yeah.
you know, that's where we've seen a lot of Australian teams struggle at the moment, is in the T side. CT seems to come naturally because it's just you hold, you need to be able to out-aim, hold your corner, use your utilities correctly. But at the moment, it seems like when we switch over to that T side, that's where MLW struggled to begin with. It was on their T side. And
Now- sorry,
We
just
saw
one
a
thing to...
commanding lead, from Black Lions until they did switch over and themselves lose on the T side.
I did just find out that Mad Like Wizards did in fact play a game earlier today, and that was against Venom Gaming Australia. First half went 8-7, Mad Like Wizards in favour, and second half went 8-7, Venom Gaming in favour, and then it went into overtime, and
Oh, wow.
Mad Like Wizards lost in overtime.
19-17.
So coming into this game, they could have been a little bit, I suppose you can say, angry about losing that one.
Yeah, a little bit of the mindset of losing that. I mean, especially with how big a gap there is between divisions. If you are a CGI team and you go up against a CGA team and you start to lose rounds, that is really going to affect your mentality and your morale, thinking, well, these guys are CGA. Maybe you were flaming them a bit. Maybe you've shit-talked them a bit. And then they're actually taking rounds off you. That's going to really take a detriment on the, morale of the team heading even into the half of that game and probably heading into the overtime. That's why we see they only came out of the overtime with, I believe 2 rounds. And we saw there that they were only able to get 2 rounds in that entire half against MLW. And whether that was MLW's dominance on their CT side, and it did seem like they did have the superior CT side, or whether that is, them getting flustered by the fact that they are versing a CGI team, and you could, go into it, oh, look at that, we're taking rounds off them, we're leading them, we're beating them, we're getting kills. But then when it doesn't start going in your favour, all of that goes out the door, and you are kind of, oh, we're getting raped here. We're getting completely destroyed. It is not a GG, But MLW definitely showing us that even though there might be discrepancies and, a lot of room between these CGI and CGA teams, MLW definitely showing us why they deserve CGI over, some other, let's say, CGA teams like that. I mean, it was just a superior CT side that we saw from them.
That's what it came down to. The T side was actually a bit lackluster from Mad Like Wizards, and I think that's actually something they do need to work on. But I do have to say, just quickly, Venom Gaming, the guys that beat Mad Like Wizards, beat Black Lions 16-2. So that shows the fact that they go into overtime means how close some of these teams are and how far some of the other teams are from each other. And one thing I do want to see more from teams like Mad Like Wizards is not playing so... using more strats on the T side, and that's why their T side was lackluster. They thought Black Lions isn't a very good team, which is not true. In fact, they learnt that one the hard way on T side. They realized that not using all the strats that they normally would have put them at such a disadvantage that they really had to come big on the CT side. Now, luckily, their crossfires and their holds are insane on the CT side. Because, man, some of the shots coming off of, like, Aiden in particular, and Panic as well, were just insane. Like, absolutely insane. And
Alright, so the server for the second game is up. So, Hectic, if you want to grab the IP for that, connect to that, and then throw some music on while we do wait for the players to join the server.
I will do, most